Hey everybody, it's Alex Hughes with the North Pacific Homes Group. Got a great video for you today talking about pre-sale opportunities and how to buy a pre-sale condo. Now before we get into it, of course, always asking to like the video, feel free to comment and subscribe, so we've got some great content coming along for you. So getting into things, buying a pre-sale is a little bit different than buying a regular property. In South Vancouver Island and Langford especially, which is one of the fastest growing cities in BC currently, it kind of switches between Langford and Surrey. There's a lot of development happening, a lot of developers starting to come to the island. We got a lot of pre-sale opportunities. So when a developer gets their building and development permit, they get it past council and pass through all the public hearings. They'll then open it up to the public for pre-sale opportunities to help generate some funds. Now there's some pros and some possible cons with buying a pre-sale. It is a great way to get into the market as you got low upfront costs. So the developer will only ask for a deposit, kind of same as when you're buying a regular condo. And it is generally 5 to mostly 10% now, and that's held in trust until the actual completion date. Now because this unit doesn't exist yet, it's not built, it's a lower price more often than what's currently on the market. So you get into the market below market value, and you, of course, with only your deposit being paid, you don't have any costs until you take possession. Now, because you aren't paying anything until possession, which could be a couple of years out, in Victoria, we have a history of appreciation. So by the time you actually get into your unit, most likely you're in an equitable value. And if that unit is assignable, meaning you're able to switch the buyers before you moving in, you can actually sell the property, make a profit without having any extra costs come your way, which is a great way of what they call real estate wholesaling. Another fantastic thing with pre-sales is the property transfer tax exemption. So currently with a pre-sale opportunity, it's $750,000 and under, you're exempt from property transfer tax. So if it is $750,000, you're skipping $13,000 of closing costs paid upfront and not being able to be worked into your mortgage, which is quite handy. Another thing with buying obviously a pre-sale, as we touched on in our last video, with a new build, is you're covered under that 2-5-10 warranty. And you can refer back to the video for a more detailed breakdown. Now, of course, there are a couple of cons that can be associated with it. The biggest con is the fact that the unit isn't even built yet. So a lot of stuff can happen in the meantime. If the developer goes bankrupt, it's very tough for you to recoup your costs. You'll have to go through class action lawsuits realistically with the other people that have bought other units, and it can take quite a while to get that deposit back, and realistically it's going to be chewed up by the lawyer fees. Like I said, Victoria has a pretty solid history of appreciation, but of course you're gambling on the future market. So in 2 to 3 years, it's a pretty safe bet that you will be in an equitable value. However, you can never predict what's going to happen. So if we do drop in value and now your property is worth less than what you paid for it, well, then you're going to be having some losses there. The other issue that could happen is you're gambling on yourself as well. Things could be looking great, you're making good money, you've gotten pre-approved. However, in 2 to 3 years, God forbid, the company you're working for goes under or something happens, you can't work, then you're going to be stuck into this unit that you might not be able to get rid of, and you can sell it as soon as you take possession of it if you're not able to assign, but that's just added stress for you. Now, pre-sales are a great way for you to get into the market. They're a great way to invest because generally they're pretty safe with the developers here, as BC has very strict development rulings, and it's a great way for you to make a bit of money. They come with different contracts. You need to understand the development and the developer, and that's obviously where your realtor will come in very handy. And that's everything I got for you folks today on this pre-sale opportunity video. If you have any questions or curious about any opportunities that's going on in Victoria, please definitely give me a shout, as I'm always happy to help. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.